The deeper we went into the space, into crypto, we realized we were creating two separate universes. There was the real world and there was a crypto world. Very quickly, it was clear for us that if we wanted to move away from the bubble that was crypto, we needed to bridge those two universes. So we wanted a zero-compromise card, things like self-custody or not having to top up some other wallet or being on a network that can scale extremely highly. So Argent is on a network called Starknet that is extremely secure, extremely scalable. So we wanted a player that comes there, and there was simply no other alternative. We are not expert at traditional finance, regulation, etc. So first, Kulipa handles everything there is to handle in the traditional finance space. So that's first critical. If we had to handle both sides, we would struggle and be very, very slow.
It's great to be here today. Would love to learn a little bit more about Argent. So it was founded in 2017, which is quite a long time ago from a wallet perspective. Tell me a little bit more about Argent and actually the mission behind it and why you set up Argent in the first place.
So Argent started indeed in 2017. The mission was quite simple, is give everyone control of their assets and identity online, making it extremely secure and usable for millions, hopefully billions of people to have access to the crypto ecosystem.
And back in 2017, did you envision actually having a physical card and the partnership with Kulipa, and where did that sort of originate from?
So to be honest, back then, we thought we would totally bypass that. So we thought people would have a crypto wallet, spend straight away in crypto, and that we would totally get rid and burn the entire legacy financial system. So we were young and optimistic at the time.
And what changed your mind? Why did you decide that there was a need for a physical card?
I think over the years, the deeper we went into the space, into crypto, we realized we were creating two separate universes. There was the real world and there was a crypto world, and people would almost have like two different identities, and there were two economies running in parallel. Very quickly, it was clear for us that if we wanted to move away from the bubble that was crypto, we needed to bridge those two universes. Basically, we were starting to be good at bringing people in, but they were kind of stuck and couldn't get out of that world. And that's actually a big friction. Will you put money in a system if you are not sure you can really get out? And so the card really gives us full control, where users know they can really spend their money in the real world day to day.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And I guess payment comes down to the psychology and, to your point, being able to actually get money out of a wallet. And so how was the actual Argent and Kulipa physical card launch? How did it go? And what did the launch look like or entail?
So I think every step for us was, we saw it as a big success. Every time we've shown the card, first we demo it in the summer, then the launch last week, every time the reception was well above expectation. We realized the product, cards are out there, people have cards, but I think the product we built is quite unique and doesn't exist in the space. So people were extremely excited, whether it's just within the Argent ecosystem to get that new feature or even outside. Marketing-wise, I think the teams at Kulipa, at Argent did a fantastic work. We literally launched the card to space. It's been a while. We wanted to put something in space, so finally we got something. We were on the rooftop celebrating in Bangkok. Very successful launch. Yeah.
Amazing. And how did you decide whom out of your user base got a card?
We see it as an alpha. We got 150 cards. We need feedback, whether it's us or Kulipa. There's a lot of things to improve. So we really took people from our community that we know will give us ruthless, honest feedback, but also will understand that this is an early product and won't be yet perfect.
Why did you choose to work with Kulipa?
So we had a relatively clear and opinionated idea of the product we wanted to build. Part of our mission is users being in control. So we wanted a card first that users could connect directly to what we call their self-custodial wallet, meaning they keep their money into their hands. They control it, not Argent, not Kulipa. So we needed such a non-custodial card. We wanted it to be very efficient from a cost perspective, so no 2%, 3%, 4% on-ramp, off-ramp fees, etc. And also the user experience for the wallet. We wanted users to be able to really mimic their bank account, to use their wallet day to day and have a card connected to that. Well, traditionally, the way it would work is you would top up a balance somewhere and then you would use that balance with your card. We didn't want that. So we had some good idea on the design we wanted from a technical perspective. So we needed a team who, of course, understand the card world very well, whether it's payment processing, also even the creation of that card. I mean, it's the most beautiful card I've seen. We had people who could help us there, but then who could understand also the more crypto Web3 world to build according to the design we had in mind. And Kulipa had really those skills.
So my next question would be, what does Kulipa really enable you to be able to do?
So first, if you look at the two entities, we have Argent and Kulipa. We live a bit in different worlds. So we are really in the crypto world. We are expert at blockchain technology. We are not expert at traditional finance, regulation, etc. So first, Kulipa handles everything there is to handle in the traditional finance space. So they will KYC users, they will handle work with a card processor and ensure that we have an issuer for the card, anything regulatory, etc. While we will do much more of the work on the wallet and crypto side of things. So that's first critical. If we had to handle both sides, we would struggle and be very, very slow. And then specifically, the Kulipa technology and the product gives a much more superior card experience. You get a card where you have a full self-custody. So at no point in time do you say, okay, I will give Argent or I'll give Kulipa some of my money. You have full security with monthly limits, with limitation on what Kulipa can do with your card. You get also an experience that is seamless. You don't need to create a separate wallet. So you use your day-to-day wallet and now you plug a card to it. And I think this really, when you take the full package, it creates something quite unique. And we went even further with Kulipa, where you get much more privacy that you would typically get. So without going into the details, you won't trigger a transaction at every time you use your card. It will settle at the end of the day, which means you don't get to monitor someone making a transaction and figure out on chain who they are. You get really an extra layer of privacy that others can offer you.
And what was your thought process in actually choosing and deciding to work and collaborate closely with Kulipa over other players?
We wanted to create something unique, something beautiful, and something we often do at Argent is or sometimes too often, we don't want to compromise. So we wanted a zero compromise card, and that goes from things like self-custody or not having to top up some other wallet or being on a network that can scale extremely highly. So Argent is on a network called Starknet that is extremely secure, extremely scalable. So we wanted a player that comes there, working with our model with a kind of abstraction. So many technical requirements that require, again, a company that is very comfortable with the traditional finance space, but also crypto space, and that could move fast and deliver. And there was simply no other alternative.
Everyone loves sort of the glass ball predictions. I'd love to know, you've been in the payment and DeFi space for a long time. Where do you see sort of crypto payment going? So
I think if we look at payment, I think we'll see very, very different verticals being solved in different manners. We see a lot of activities around remittance, cross-border. At the same time, on the card, it's much more about people and their daily spend, because we'll see a bigger cohort, I think, of people who really live in this crypto economy, but they still need to be able to, buy food and pay their rent and buy coffee, etc. So I think we'll just see first an increase in what we already see. So day-to-day spends, remittance, but then I think we'll start to see more interesting products being built around payment and crypto, maybe cross-enterprise settlement, etc. I would love to see different banks settle between them in crypto. So I think we'll open to more verticals, but for us, the priority is just to connect the crypto economy to the real world, make it very easy to spend your crypto day to day.
So, Axel, I'd love to hear a little bit more about the mission behind Kulipa and how it all started.
I've been in payment for, I don't want to count, but more than 12 years. And I've also been very interested in blockchain and digital ledger and crypto in general. And when I realized that crypto was getting mature enough to really be the backbone of fast payment and cheap payment, I realized that if we bring both worlds together, we would really make card payment way more efficient. Something that I realized MasterCard is that payment is something very personal. You need to trust it. You need to really have, changing people's habits in terms of payment is very hard. If we don't give a card to people to pay in crypto, it's going to be super hard to get them to really do it.
So my next question is around, obviously you were looking for a wallet to partner with. And so Kulipa and Argent have now actually launched that physical card. So how's it gone? How was the launch? And also, why did you choose Argent as your partner?
It's been a quite long project because we've been design partners in this project. I've got it here. The card is pretty cool. And the whole project with Argent, with the really strong technical team of Argent and the product team of Argent, we couldn't have dreamt of a better partner, to be honest, because they really are into building a really good user experience. They also are very strong in terms of blockchain and their understanding of, and also working with Starknet as a blockchain. And their thesis for the wallet is really to make it part of people's life. And that was an amazing project with them, definitely.
Yeah, I think launch is such an important milestone. And so taking a few steps back, what is DevCon and the event in Bangkok? And, what was the experience you were trying to create?
So DevCon is probably one of the main events for the crypto community. It's all about Ethereum and the developers, which, the builders. It was a very vibrant event where you had side events everywhere, and it was really, really cool. We invited some of the most prominent people of the community from Starknet, from Ethereum, and we brought them on a really nice rooftop and gave them the cards. And from there, the whole concept of a card that could pay on Starknet in USDC came to life. We already have tens of transactions every day using their card, and that's already happening, and they love it.
Amazing. And also it was probably really great for the product team to be able to see the product live in the hands of customers. The launch has happened. You're now having lots of transactions. What's next for Kulipa and Argent?
If we come back to the last weeks just before that launch, we were in a very tight schedule. We've launched the card, it worked immediately. We only had a couple of days to test it. So what's next for Argent and Kulipa? We need to have Apple Pay, Google Pay implemented. We've launched a very high-end product with that metal card, which is really beautiful. We also want to launch a more standard card. So much like if you think about what the challenger banks have done, like Revolut and 26 with that product, with different tiers of cards and different levels of service for different customers, we want to replicate that level of sophistication in the card design and the product design. And we're going to launch all of these probably early next year.
Why would people want to use a crypto card versus a Revolut or a Monzo? What's the use case for Kulipa and a physical card?
You have a lot of people, especially in emerging markets, who really hold crypto as an alternative to a bank account. You have remittance use cases where people receive money or stablecoin from their family. More and more use cases where people get paid directly as freelancers or contractors because they live across the world, and the companies find it easier to just pay them in a few seconds with stablecoin instead of moving into a bank account. If they have one, converting it in their local currency, being able to spend directly from that wallet is makes their life so much easier.
And on the technical side with Kulipa, what's the insurance like?
We are plugged directly into the wallet. So what happens when you use your card, the tokens, the stablecoin that is in the wallet is going to be collected and sent to us. So we collect it and then we convert it into fiat for the merchant to receive a couple of days later. So for the user, it really is as easy as using a normal card that we would have with a bank account. All of the complexity of using crypto when you have a wallet and you need to off-ramp it and you have all of the fees and all of that disappears because we are plugged directly into the wallet.
My final question is, you've been in the payment space for a very long time and there's been some amazing tailwinds. What do you predict is next in terms of crypto payment?
Very good question. I mean, when you've been in payment for a long time, you realize how painful moving money across is with traditional payment rails and how much value is created by blockchain and crypto and decentralized ledgers. And so for me, the whole payment is going to be completely disrupted by this new underlying set of pipes that are just so much more efficient. We're still at the infancy. It still needs to be more robust and there's a lot to be built. Voice over IP used to be Skype and we had to buy Skype out minis, call a landline and all that. But all of the voice over IP is now the backbone of telecommunication and phone calls. For me, blockchain is going to be the same for payments. It's going to just completely replace everything we know about. Sending money across for $50 to send money to the US is not going to happen anymore. Blockchain is going gonna replace all of that.
Yeah, and it's already starting, so it's exciting.